Well, first things first. I know some of you, my wife was like, "You seen some of the comments on your video about you? We know when you said, you know, if if you could join the elite, whatever, you would just do it." So a few comments on there. People didn't like that, that answer, or that response. Truth of the matter is, I don't think I have it in me to join evil of that magnitude. To be honest with you, where that kind of comment stems from is absolute frustration with nonsense sheeple. You say there's so many of these damn morons out there. I almost want to stick it to them myself because you are such bumbling zombie idiots. You'll believe anything if it comes from mainstream media. I'm going to get into this article, Baby Boomers' Retirement Woes, summed up in 5 statistics. I was just talking about the baby boomer thing with the Rich Dad, Poor Dad author, where he talks about since 2002 or 3, he said 2016 would be an interesting year because of the amount of people retiring or baby boomers starting to collect. And there's some interesting statistics, such as, if you're allowed to, like if you retire at 65, you get full Social Security benefits back. Not that that's a lot, but you get the 100%, allocated amount coming back to you every month. If you need it at 62 or 63 or whatever, you may lose up to 25% of what you had coming because you got it, quote unquote, early. In Rich Dad Poor Dad, I said, in another video, he's talking about, I think a lot of people were able to wait for themselves to be 70 years old and now collect, because if you can wait till you're 70, you get more than if you got it when you were 65. So if you're able to hold out somehow or continue working till you're 70, you have a whole lot more money come back. Now, there was a poll, which I just want to discuss this really quick. ABC News poll puts up a link to, a poll. ABC News. Do you think Hillary Clinton should be criminally prosecuted for her use of a private email server while serving as Secretary of State? ABC News poll. View results. Yes, she should be prosecuted. 93.72%. 5.55% say no. And 0.73%, I'm on the fence. I'm undecided. Those would be the people that don't know what the hell's even going on with that. They're so far from paying attention to anything. They have recused themselves. Like, I don't even know how to comment on that because I don't even know what the hell's going on. I didn't even hear about this. That's those people. Thank God it's only 0.73%. A total of 17,995 votes were yes. 17,995. Only 1,065 thus far are no votes. So Mr. Comey, or should I call you Commie, as in the communist, head of the FBI, and Miss Loretta Lynch, head of the Justice Department, 93% of Americans say she should be criminally prosecuted. Now, I find that interesting because if there really are all these Hillary supporters, and again, it's, the latest poll shows the Trump and Hillary, they're close, but she's edged him out in this poll, but the other poll, if you're a Hillary supporter, you're a Hillary supporter. You're not changing because of some little email thing. And I'll mention one other thing before I get on this video, before I get on to the point of this video. If you ever notice when she has her little rallies, go over here, have my rally over here, it's always in a somewhat small facility. But if you were to go to Bernie Sanders rallies when he was running, and currently Trump, they need freaking stadiums to hold the amount of people showing up. But that's your mainstream media lying to your face and propagandizing you into believing this race is actually kind of close. How can it be close? No one's showing up for the Hillary campaign, shows that she puts, again, it's a show she puts on. Hardly anyone shows up because, again, it's a small facility every time. And whenever it's like that, or they're in a larger facility, still nothing compared to Trump or Bernie Sanders, by the way, but nonetheless, when she is in some kind of facility that looks decent, you never get a full view of the place. You only get this little view where they've got all these people crammed in. You don't get the full 360 view. Why? Because there's a whole bunch of empty seats. That's why. Anyways, on to this more educational video than that garbage I just had to tell you about. Baby boomers' retirement woes summed up in 5 statistics, and I've found this on a site, www.fool.com. You stinking fool. I said, man, that is my kind of website, fool.com. Kind of like Bozo, you know? I wonder if Bozo, I'm just curious. Bozo.com taken? Bozo. Has to be. Yep. Oh, what the? Bozo the Clown? A plugin is needed. Flash content. Oh. No kidding. Bozo the Clown. Financially speaking, baby boomers may be in quite a bit of trouble. No one ever said the road to retirement is an easy path traveled, but it's looking to be a particularly bumpy and pothole-filled road for baby boomers. The baby boomer generation began retiring earlier this decade, and the expectation is that roughly 10,000 boomers will exit the workforce each day between now and the end of the next decade. But for many baby boomers, the reality of being able to retire comfortably and on their own terms may not be possible. The following 5 statistics perfectly sum up the woes that many baby boomers are facing as they approach or enter retirement. Number 1, 59% relying heavily on Social Security alone. Arguably, one of the biggest challenges baby boomers face is their heavy reliance on Social Security. Based on statistics from the Insured Retirement Institute's latest report on baby boomers, some 59% can expect Social Security to be a major source of their income during retirement. That's up from just 43% in 2014. So we've gone from 43% 2 years ago to 59%. Wow. This is particularly worrisome because the Social Security's Old Age Survivors and Disability Insurance Trust isn't on solid long-term footing. The Board of Trustees is predicting that the OASDI will burn through its remaining cash reserves by 2034. Namely, on account of so many boomers, as they're called, retiring and shifting the worker to beneficiary ratio from the current 2.8 to 1 in 2015 anyways, to 2.1 to 1 by 2035. While any number of tax increases or benefit cuts could extend benefit payments to eligible seniors via Social Security, a cut of up to 21% could be necessary to sustain the program for generations to come. That's a scary proposition for nearly 6 in 10 baby boomers. Number 2, 45% of these people have no retirement savings. Here's a terrifying nugget of data to wrap your hands around. Based on IRI data, just 55% of respondents in its study had retirement savings in 2016, meaning 45% of baby boomers surveyed had absolutely nothing saved for retirement. Comparably, 80% of respondents in 2014 had money put away toward retirement. So again, 2 years ago, 80% had money put away. Now only 55% have money put away. Can you see a trend here? Right? I'm staring at that magic 8 ball right now. Should I ask? I don't even need to ask. You know the answer to that one. Number 3, 30% of these people postponed their retirement plans. Forget mimosas on the beach. Because the alarm clock is going off and you need to get to work. The IRI report also notes that over the past year, some 3 in 10 baby boomers postponed their plans to retire. Age 62 has long been viewed as retirement age, but nearly 6 in 10 boomers now expect to retire at age 65 or later, including 26% of boomers that anticipate retirement age at 70 or later. In 2011, just 17% of boomers expected to retire by age 70 or later. With little to no savings in their coffers, boomers have had little choice but to work longer in order to use their working wages to meet their basic monthly expenses. Number 4, 30% stopped contributing to retirement accounts. Also in the IRA report, 30% responded that they've stopped contributing to retirement accounts. 16% also took premature withdrawals from their retirement accounts. Although this is more or less on par with figures from 2012, it's up substantially from 2014 when only 21% of boomers weren't contributing to their retirement. Part of the blame can likely be attributed to the U.S. stock market, which didn't deliver eye-popping gains in 2015. However, boomers are still scared by the scarred by the Great Recession. Quite a many boomers ran for the exit door when the stock market began to tank and simply missed out on the ensuing rebound. This is yet another reason why so many boomers are entering retirement age with an inadequate nest egg. And fifth and finally, 44% are lugging around debt. Based on a recent Urban Institute data project, more baby boomers than ever are hanging up their work gloves while still toting around sizable levels of debt. The study notes that the percentage of adults aged 65 and up with debt rose from 30% in 1998 to 44% by 2012. Furthermore, nearly a quarter of all retirees enter retirement with mortgage debt. The study pinpointed $24,500 as the median amount older adults owed in debt in 2012. I'd love to know these numbers 4 years later, 2016, because I guarantee you they're worse than this. Debt can be particularly dangerous for boomers during retirement because it could coerce them to boost their income as soon as they're eligible for Social Security, which is age 62. While the added income boost from Social Security could help boomers reduce their debt, it's also locked them into a lifetime of reduced benefits. Enter JSNP4's mother, who was told not to do this and did it anyways. For boomers retiring at age 62 today, this could mean being paid just 75% of their full retirement benefit each month. And as a bonus statistic, which, by the way, JSNP4's mom is working part-time. She has to offset the difference. And as a bonus statistic, and she lives with my sister practically rent-free. And as a bonus statistic, and she just recently paid off her car in which she was going to get a new car last year when I had to convince Mommy not to do so. Mom, when's your car paid off? I think around April or May of 2016. Next year? So like 4 months? Yeah. You're paying $250 a month. Car payment. 2008 vehicle. Yep. It runs fine, right? Yep. Any problems with it? No, I just had an oil change But you're thinking about getting a new car. Well, I'm just getting kind of tired of it. I just want something new. It puts pain in my heart that someone from my own family, as Buford T. Justice once said, "You ain't no way you came from my loins, boy." But that's my mom, so I did come from there. I was about to flip out. But I calmly said, "Mom, you can't afford a new car. Your car's about to be paid off here shortly. Let me ask you a question. How would it feel to have $250 every single month going forward for a good foreseeable future?" I would like that. That would be nice. That would help. Case in point, you're not getting that new car. So tell Paul or whoever it was, the nice dealer, salesman that you said, really nice man. Tell Paul you're not interested. You're absolutely not getting a car right now. Thinking in my mind, you live at Andrea's house for free. How would you think she would feel that you can all of a sudden afford a new car payment but can't pay her a freaking dime? Are you a millennial? Can't be. You're my mom. You're in your 60s now. Where's this mentality? So anyways, back to the story. And as a bonus statistic, to tie these aforementioned 5 frightening data points together, seniors are living longer than ever. The average 60-year-old will live another 21 years, meaning baby boomers have to contend with making their money, or lack thereof, stretch even further. What kills me is that, I'll take myself for example. I've been working since I was probably 14 or 15. First job, McDonald's. I was the fry guy. Couldn't work back by the stove or the grills, because I was too young. OSHA guideline says no. So I was the fry guy. I could pack a mean fry, okay? And I could also come home stinking like fast food. That was my first job. And I have never been through a period in my life where I have not had a job. So take me 15 years old, but again, I'm going to be fair and say 20 years old is when everybody started working. And I know most all of you are probably saying, oh no, I had a job when I was 16, I was 18. And I know. 20 years old, retirement age is 60, right? 65, they say. But they're talking about, if you can hold out to 70, you actually can get about 118% of the Social Security coming back to you instead of the 100%. So 20 years that we would expect to work, and let's just say 60 years old. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, that's 40 years. And hey, I'm going to retire at 60, assuming you actually could, right? 40 years put in. Add 40 years to 60 years old, to when you're 60 years old. 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. That's simple math, okay? What's the chances of you living to 100? Not good. What's the chances of you living to 90? Also not good. Even though I know wife's uncle, Uncle Pete, 96 now, I think. 96, still plays tennis. No walker, no nothing. Love Uncle Pete. He is the exception to the rule. Most people these days be lucky to live to 80. So I want you to think about that. We're going to say 80 is the magic number. Again, in the beginning of this century, 1900s, we had 1 out of like 43 or so people, I remember seeing the statistics, getting cancer sometime in their life. 1 out of like 43, somewhere around there. Or maybe it was 35, 40, whatever. By the year 2000, it was 1 out of 3. So we have another issue. People are dying earlier, right? So people ain't making it to the 80s like they used to. So, 60, you retire. 70, 80. I just want 20 years of retirement. So whatever I put in for the 40 years, I should get all of that back. Let's get all of it back. That's what it was there for. That's why I put in, right? You're taking this from me to put in for my own little safe, my own little nest egg. So whatever I put in should come right back to me for those next 20 years. Again, maybe I live to 90 and it's 30 years, but hey, I put in 40 years worth. And granted, when I was at 15 years old, I was making, I think, $4.25 an hour or somewhere around there, minimum wage, McDonald's. And today in my life, I'm 38 years old, making a lot more than $4.25 an hour, to be honest with you. Make a good salary at my job. I'm happy and proud of that. I'm not rich by any means. I'm what you would call a middle-class American, right? Just the typical, certainly not living on the low side of things. Again, thank you guys for dealing with these videos, ads, advertisements, because that's a little bonus. Little J Snip 4 throws himself a bonus, thanks to you guys, from those that revenue. But anyways, the point I'm making is, what if I put in a huge amount after the age of 35 every paycheck compared to when I was 20 years old or 25 years old or 30 years old. But I'm going to do this now from, let's say, 35, 45, 55, next 25 years. Again, it doesn't matter on what side was little or high or whatever. It's how much did J. Snoop 4 through his life give to the federal government for Social Security in 40 years of his time. Whatever that is, and you want to give it back over a 40-year period, you could argue, because I'm not going to live to be 100 in your snake government. So you can say this is what you put in, and this is how much you're going to get back as a monthly payment every month. But again, no one's living to 100. I mean, let's be real. So my point here is, where the hell is all this money going? How is it not available? It can't not be available. Oh, we got to cut and this. We've taken some out of the regular fund to put in the disability fund because that's already tapped out dry. There's no way in hell, okay, that this money's gone. It's unfunded. We're not able to fund it. It's not even possible. They've been spending it, as we knew from the get-go. They've been spending it like drunken sailors. That's why it's not there. Take care.